So let's just talk about ditching New Year's resolutions. Let's talk about doing something different. So, interesting time of the year. Christmas is upon us, and it will soon be a new year. And in fact, this time round, even a new decade. How brilliant is that? And it always gets me thinking at this time of year when people start talking about, oh, must write my New Year's resolutions down. And you know what happens, people write down their resolutions, and if they make it past the end of January, they're doing really, really well. Because these are a list of things which somewhere up here we think we need to do or should do. And you know what? Even more often is the case that we write down things that we think we ought to do because someone else has mentioned to it or someone else is projecting their expectations of us. So let's just talk about ditching New Year's resolutions. Let's talk about doing something different. What if instead of writing down that list of stuff that you feel you ought to or you should, oh, I should start exercising because someone's told you that you should, or I must get better at this, or I must go and learn French, or and you're doing things because you've heard that it's a good idea and you think you should. Rather than doing all that stuff, why don't we take some time alone in the quiet? Yeah, in the quiet. There's a concept. We live in a very noisy life, don't we? We're plugged in all the time. But let's find some space. Let's find 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And get a piece of paper and sit down and start writing down things that you think are important to you. Not what anybody else thinks, what you think is important to you. Now, why bother with that? Well, here's the thing. So I run. I love my running. I've been running for loads of years. And I coach some beginner runners too. And if I think when I started running, I started running because I thought I should. I was a bit overweight, needed to get fit, so I started running. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Did I enjoy it? Hell no. It was painful. It was uncomfortable. The two guys that I started running with were much fitter than I was, and I always used to be lagging behind. And it was great when it was over. Now, the thing with that is that's only going to last for so long. And after a few weeks of that, after a few months of that, you're thinking, oh, do you know what? I'm probably going to do whatever I can to dodge going for that run because it's going to hurt. I'm going to come last. I'm going to feel rubbish. I'm not as fast as everyone else. And there's a risk that you stop. So I did something different. I started to try and get in touch with why I ran. Now, it took me best part of 2 years to understand why I run. And I'm not going to go into the details of why I run there, but it's very personal to me. I found a reason, the thing that gets me out of bed and out on a morning run, the thing that makes me go out running when it's cold, when it's wet, when it's muddy, is because the reason that I run is so important to me, the reason I do it. I don't have to think about making myself do it. It doesn't appear on any New Year's resolutions list. I choose to do it because it's important to me. So that's my thought for you for the new year, is rather than write down lists that you're not going to do, is allow yourself some time. Give yourself 10 minutes, 15 minutes alone, quiet, with your phone somewhere else, with the phone on silent. Get away from distractions and start to think about 2 or 3 things that are really important to you. And if really deep down your health is really, really important to you, or your career is really, really important to you, or your kids are really, really, really important to you, or you've got that special someone who's really, really, really important to you, then write that down, write their names down, write that thing down, and use that to help you decide what great things you're going to have a go at in the next 12 months. Do something for you. Do something that you passionately want to do and keep it to yourself. The trouble is when we share stuff with people, they start to project their views on us. I can remember when I decided to do my first half marathon, someone said to me, "You do a half marathon? Are you having a laugh or what?" And immediately what happens? You start thinking to yourself, "Oh, maybe you're right. You're right, me? No, I've never been a runner." So stop. Do it for you. Think about what's important to you. Do it for you. And sit here in a year's time. Enjoy the fact. Enjoy the journey. Don't tick off that you've achieved something. And enjoy the journey of achieving whatever it is you choose to achieve in the next 12 months. Have a go.